Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Arevik, the founder of Channel Group. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips on how to protect your intellectual property when working with China. If this topic is relevant to you, then watch this video till the end. Let's jump in. So how to protect your intellectual property when working in China? Actually, I get this question asked a lot, and no matter whether you are just starting a new company or managing already established business, the question of how to protect your intellectual property is one of those that will keep you up at night. I wish I could comfort you with a positive answer and tell you that there is 100% guaranteed pathway on protecting your intellectual property when working in China. But unfortunately, I have no such news for you.
I state my regret.
You couldn't have memorized that?
I could not because I do not feel it.
IP protection in China is almost impossible. If such brands as Porsche, Tesla, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, and many other famous brands in various industries can't protect their products from being copied, then most likely you can't too. However, I'm not saying that it's impossible. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips and tricks on how to protect your intellectual property, your unique product, from being copied. Before we begin, I must disclaim that all of the information that I will be providing in this video is generalized and may not be applicable to your specific business case. Therefore, I suggest you to seek consultation and assistance of certified lawyer in order to draft and tailor legal documents according to your specific business case. Now that we have this out of our way, let's jump in. Let's start with our point number 1, which is register your intellectual property in your intended operating market. Depending on the product you develop and the market you operate in, the registration of your intellectual property may have different options and different procedures. We suggest you hire a certified lawyer to consult and guide you through the correct pathway for protecting your intellectual property. However, don't forget that the certified lawyer have to be practicing in this particular field. From my experience, this can be achieved through registering trademark, copyright, or obtaining a patent. Tip number 2, register NDA and NNN agreement with your Chinese manufacturer before enclosing any sensitive information. As I already mentioned in one of my previous videos, NDA and NNN are abbreviation where NDA stands for non-disclosure agreement, which also referred to sometimes as confidentiality agreement. And the NNN stands for non-disclose, non-use, and non-compete agreement. NDA agreement simply prevents your Chinese manufacturer from disclosing any information that they received from you regarding your intellectual property. And NNN agreement prevents your Chinese manufacturer from copying or using your intellectual property as their own. NNN agreement prevents your Chinese manufacturer from using your intellectual property, such as copying and selling your products or using your ideas to develop a similar product, disclosing information about your intellectual property, such as using your products at the trade show as their marketing tool, sharing your design and ideas with their other customers that are in search of new inspirations, using your products against you, such as copying your unique products and using it to compete against you in your own market. I'm going to dive into more detailed analysis on the difference between NDA and NNN agreement. However, from my experience, I would say that you would better sign both of them with your Chinese manufacturer before enclosing any valuable information regarding your intellectual property. Bear in mind that the NDA and NNN agreements that you're going to sign with your Chinese manufacturer have to be legally enforceable in China. Therefore, I suggest you to hire a lawyer in China who is practicing in this field to draft legally enforceable in China NDA and NNN agreements specifically for your business case. Now we're slowly moving to our point number 3 on how to protect your intellectual property in China, which is protect your molding. No matter whether you are bringing new idea and design to your Chinese manufacturer, or you decided to adjust their already existing product with your engineering solutions and your creative ideas, development of a new mold would be required, right? At this particular point, it is very important to sign the product development agreement and NDA and NNN agreements before starting a discussion of any ideas, any engineering solutions with your Chinese manufacturer. To illustrate the importance of IP protection and timely signed documents such as product development agreement, NDA and NNN agreement, let me share with you unfortunate story of one of my clients. One of my clients, when he was just starting his business, he started from online store on Amazon. He cooperated with the Chinese manufacturer and decided to manufacture product in China. Once he found a suitable manufacturer in China, he checked with their portfolio and realized that the models that he was planning to use and import into US to later sell on Amazon could generally use some changes, improvements and adjustments. So he decided to develop new product from scratch, and the decision of developing of new mold was made. So he and his team in the US started to develop the product idea and started to work on the design very closely with this Chinese manufacturer. They started discussing engineering solutions. They settled down and decided on the changes that they're going to be making to their new mold. This Chinese manufacturer got all of the information and started to develop this new mold and told this client that it would take 2 to 3 months before the new mold is ready. After 2 months, however, this Chinese manufacturer informed the client that it would take longer than 2 months and that they would need to wait a little bit longer. However, the client got suspicious when the Chinese manufacturer postponed the mold readiness date again, until one day this Chinese manufacturer came to him and proposed him to take a look at their new product models with the words, "Maybe you will like one of them." The client was shocked when he saw in their new product catalog exactly the same product as they developed the mold for. The only difference was the color and some insignificant changes. Of course, client confronted this Chinese manufacturer, but they claimed that they started this product's mold development way earlier than his one, which is why it's out way earlier than his one. And moreover, they told him that they already started to sell this product overseas, particularly to US market and particularly to clients who sell on Amazon. To recap, this client could not take this case to court neither in US nor in China because he had no intellectual property registration and he had not signed NDA and NNN agreements with this Chinese manufacturer. Therefore, he lost his intellectual property, he lost his product idea, and he lost his chance of earning big profits from this product idea. So yes, guys, to conclude, you really need to make sure to protect your mold. Sign NDA and NNN agreement before enclosing any valuable and sensitive information with your Chinese manufacturer. Make sure to own 100% of the mold. And there are actually 2 ways on how you can protect your mold from being used. So the first way on how to protect your mold from your Chinese manufacturer using it is If you have a representative office in China, or if you are cooperating with the sourcing company located in China, you can talk to them and agree with them to store your mold while it's not being used for production. And the second way is, if you have no representative office in China and if you don't have a sourcing agent who can store it for you, you can always use a third-party quality control inspector to go to the manufacturing site and seal your mold after each production cycle. Now let's move on to our point number 4, which is make your product almost impossible to copy. So how to make your product almost impossible to copy? I guess this question is relevant to any entrepreneur, any business owner, and even huge enterprises. Unfortunately, many think that the solution lies in avoiding manufacturing in China and manufacturing their products locally in US or in European countries. However, from my experience, I can assure you that it's not the solution. Nothing prevents any manufacturer from any part of the world from ordering your product once it hits the shelves, delivering it to where they are, opening it up, studying it very closely, and reverse engineering it. So how can you make your product copycat proof? Add value to your product, go the extra mile, make adjustments that are unique to your competitors, hard to copy engineering wise, or simply too costly to copy. Deliver software or an app that goes with your product. Good example would be an Apple's iOS operating system. In this approach of copycat proof, if your client enjoys using your product and the system's interface that goes with it, they would stay loyal to your brand, and that's another proven way to secure your business. Now we're slowly moving to our last tip on how to protect your intellectual property when working with China, which is blind manufacturing. Manufacture different parts of your product with different manufacturers and assemble the final product with your trusted Chinese manufacturer. Of course, this applies to the products that consist of 2 or more components. Manufacturing different parts with different Chinese manufacturers prevents each of them having direct access to your final product. In some cases, the parts of the products might be manufactured without even letting your manufacturer know in what final product it would be used. So that's it, guys. Those were the 5 tips on how to protect your intellectual property when working with China. Protecting your intellectual property is definitely a hard task, but achievable when taking the mentioned precautions. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you for sticking with me till the end. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Click that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!